mihi nui ki a koutou katoa. My name's Mitchell Vincent, and yeah, I'm just going to pull up my speech real quick. Hopefully you guys aren't cooking. It's blimmin' hot out there. I'm liking the VIP up here, guys, thank you. So, yeah, my name's Mitchell Vincent, and I have a clothing label called Mitchell Vincent Collection, based here in Hamilton. My label was established in 2013, the same year that I graduated, and I graduated at Wintec in Fashion and Practice. It's been 3 years doing direct to consumer sales online and social media stores, and around 14 months of wholesaling around New Zealand, and man, it's been a lesson learned. With moving here in the Waikato, my main goal was to learn te reo Māori, and then I got completely sidetracked when I was working in retail, and I just fell in love with fashion, and that's what led me into the fashion industry today. So ever since I was a teenager, I worked in retail, and then from fashion, internships, and other New Zealand brands, I started working with independent boutiques, and that's when I started learning how to mix international fashion and with New Zealand fashion, and got me sort of an idea of what everyone's wanting here in New Zealand. And majority of the time it's black, even though everyone's wearing colour today, which is nice to see. From there, yeah, I was pretty much hooked with fashion. Retail was the thing, and then branched out onto my own. So I've been working on the label independently outside of being in retail for the past 14 months as well, I think. So far, so good. We're good, we're still eating. My expression in fashion has changed in taste a lot since I was young. I loved seeing like the glamness of the Grammys, you know, and all that sort of stuff. But then you become a little bit more realistic when you see your customers and what they're wanting, you know. You realise that not everyone's going to be wearing a pointed shoulder pad like Gaga down the street. You'd love to see it, but it doesn't necessarily happen, not here in Hamilton anyway. As a fashion student, I was always open to all fashion styles and taking everything in as I saw it. So I think the most important thing, like especially if there's any fashion students or if you're interested in becoming a fashion designer, one thing that I don't regret is just exploring all the different fabric types and literally giving anything a shot when it came to pattern and construction. Like it was a big strength, and now when you hone in on your niche, like it definitely becomes a bit more of an easy task down the line. So after my first year of study, the following year I was still working in retail, but then ended up having to ask for time off because I was offered a runway in Malaysia, which happened to be my first runway outside of study, and it was a part of the appeal because Malaysia was one of the countries that helped us with the Cambridge earthquake. So it was to say thank you. Sorry, sweat leaking into the eyes, it's a good look. So straight after the runway in Kuala Lumpur, I jumped off the plane and literally drove down from Auckland to get my graduation cap and everything, chucked it on, and then went straight to my graduation. It was not the most fun and fashion-forward way to do things, but it happened. And I don't remember the special awards at all the following night. That was real fun with the jet lag. But I think that's when I realised that all my goals were coming true, you know, when you're a student. The same year, I ended up presenting my collection, a new collection, in the Māori designer contest called Miramura, where I won Emerging Designer, and it took me to New Zealand Fashion Week, where I ended up showing for my first time, and this was 5 months after graduating fashion. So accomplishments and showcases. Throughout the last 6 years, I've been involved with over 20 runways and installations around New Zealand and internationally. With that being said, my main focus now with the label is to produce more for our customers, and so then majority of you will be able to have Mitchell Vincent Collection in your wardrobe. Also, one of the biggest achievements today is that I did a recent collab with Sense and Wonder, who's a jewellery store in Te Awa Base. So it's amazing to be involved in is it still the biggest mall in New Zealand? I'm not quite sure. But it's so amazing to be involved with something like that, especially with the retail world. Also, our past last week was a major accomplishment with being a part of Te Matatini, where I teamed up with another speaker, Nikki over here from Tapu Tapu Design, and it was amazing just to be able to see all the customers from Wellington and all over. Everyone came down for the Kapaka Festival, if you're not aware of it. Yeah, and it was amazing. And then I ended up selling out of majority of the designs over 4 days, which was just insane. So yeah, if you're one of the people that are messaging me about the pre-orders, today we find out about fabric. So please let me rest a little bit. The international runways and promotion. So the next thing that we've got coming up would be showcasing again at Guangzhou Fashion Week in China for the second time. I'm very proud to be a part of the Fashion Rupu that's organised by Māori designer Kitty Nathan. If you know her, you know her. I'm pretty sure you would. She's a big deal. And she's been working with young Māori designers for the past 2 years and being able to give us a platform to manufacture offshore. So it's been amazing to be able to be invited back and go over in the next month. Yeah, and then the next mahi that I wanted to let you know about was the charity for the Waikato's Women's Refuge, and that's coming up in May, and that's organised by Anna Stretton. So make sure you keep an eye on social media because it's always good to be able to give back, you know. Yeah, so in conclusion, do it with passion or not at all. If there's anyone that is wanting to be a designer or be in the fashion industry, my advice would be learn to adapt and never take one person's opinion as the only opinion, and to never stop learning. It's definitely been something of a learning curve, you know. Oh. Hello? Yeah, definitely just believe in yourself. Also, before I forget, and I know you're all millennials, majority of you, so get out your phone and make sure you follow me on social media. So you can find me on Facebook and Instagram, and then you can keep up with the pre-orders, okay? But yeah, you'll find me because my logo is the human heart. And yeah, if you didn't know the human heart, if your heart's not in it, you shouldn't be doing it. So that's why I do it today. Kia ora.